everyone, I'm Cynthia Conte for the best women's boxing show, period. I am on the road. This is the On the Road edition. I've got Miss Holly Sonders. Your outfit is fire. So we do a thing called Swag Camp. Jeandra, my co-host, but you know, Ryan broke the internet, Gervonta Davis, and then of course when Oscar did, he was super excited. He's like, I'm in Dolce, I'm in this, I'm Dior, I'm in Amiri, I'm in Louboutins. But yes, you are rocking some.
I have the matching pants to Oscar's shirt today, the Dolce. So
wait, is it going to be sheer like that?
I mean, he doesn't have that ass, but yeah, I mean, he's got those abs going. So
I always ask him, Oscar, how are you and your abs?
I think the abs are the most famous thing on the internet, actually.
Really
Before this fight, I think the abs were the most famous thing that Golden Boy was doing.
You guys broke the internet.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah, he's fine saying it. It was ab etching, like with the lipo here in Vegas, with Doc Vegas, Chris Corsandi, that's the doctor, and did it back in November, and he's so happy, as he should be. I mean, when you're...
Did you recommend it, or did he say, I got these love handles, what can I do?
Yeah, I did it 5 years ago, kind of when it first came out, that like Vaser lipo, and it was life-changing because it takes away, you know, sometimes with it's hereditary, you just have the extra fat, especially no matter how much you work out. So I did it and loved it, and he was like, listen, like I want a 50th birthday gift to myself, I want to feel young, and I was like, let's do it. So it was about 4 weeks of recovery, and he looked amazing, feels good, like loves wearing those kinds of shirts now, and
he's like practically walking naked on social media.
Yeah, he said, he was like, this is going to be like no shirt 23. So yeah, I mean for these events he does, but around the house he's just like feeling himself, and it's good, it's nice.
That is good.
Yeah.
Well, I know some people are going to be watching why I brought you on, because you know, I just don't bring on hot girls. There is a reason why women in sports, a lot of people do not know your entire background before you being a pinup model and, you know, looking like this. You were a sports broadcaster. You were a golfer.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from what I know. Yeah. Six or 7 years old, you won your first golf tournament or golf competition. Yeah. 6 or 7 years old. I don't know what I was doing at 6. Maybe like, I think I was learning my ABCs. I'm not exactly sure. Your parents were golfers?
Yeah, my mother was the club champion at our local club for 22 years. So she had me when she was a little bit older, and they just love golf. Like they were not like well off growing up, and golf was kind of like a rich person sport, and they just kind of took to it when they were older and had enough money to play and fell in love with it. And then she just brought me along. My dad was an eye doctor, my mother was a stay-at-home mom, and she brought me along to the golf course, and that was it. So yeah, 25 years of golf, and I played in college all the way through, and then ended up talking about it on Golf Channel, NBC. When I was 21, they hired me. So
yeah, sadly she didn't get to become the professional golf player you wanted to be.
The best thing in the end. It was the best thing in the end. I ended up, having a much longer career and truly made more money than, sadly, women's sports, these purses and stuff like that they're receiving. We've got to find a way to bump that number up. They're not making that kind of money, that nearly as much as the men are. So
you were one of the first faces of Golf Channel. Morning Drive, and playing lessons,
in another instructional show called School of Golf. And I started out, I was 21, and I was really green and young and inexperienced, so I did taped updates on the morning show, and I would do that for the first 6 months. We'd tape the 30-second updates. I'd disappear for the 2-hour show. So, and I just worked really hard, and I stayed after and read the teleprompter, and I really wanted to learn how to do it. So then about a year later, I started hosting the show. I was one of the main hosts for 2 to 4 hours a day, and then had 3 shows of my own 2 years later.
Do you see that? You guys don't know that. She's not just a hot little thing. She's really smart, actually.
Very smart.
You went on scholarship to Michigan State?
Yeah, I had a full scholarship to Michigan State and played golf, and that's kind of what got my foot in at Golf Channel at such a young age, was the fact that I knew the game so well, and then I needed to learn how to broadcast, and so it went from there. I was very lucky to have it happen that early.
When you were on the course with men, they feel intimidated by you?
The people at Golf Channel, like the one show that I did with the top players in the world, it was like the top 20 players in the world, and we would go to their home course, and we would play 9 holes, and that was the show, and it was just us, bullshitting back and forth. Tell me about your routine. Tell me about just show me where you live, and show me, that some of them would bring their families out, and it was just a really cool show, and I missed doing that show a lot. But they were never intimidated because my personality, especially they got to see it when I was on the morning show, is just like easygoing. I'm not going to try and hit you with these crazy questions and make you feel stupid or look stupid. It's not going to be hard hitting. It's going to be entertaining. So,
and then you moved over to NFL. Why did you move into football?
So I think when I was 25, Golf Channel came and wanted me to re-sign for 5 years, re-up my contract for 5 years, and I was living in Orlando, Florida. Had just gotten divorced. I had gotten married young. It was a disaster there, and
It's a learning lesson.
Of course. And then I wanted to move to LA. I wanted to just do more. I didn't want to get pigeonholed into golf forever. As much as I love golf, it's given me everything. I wanted to go try the NFL and college football, and so Fox came, and they had just acquired golf. The U.S. Open and a couple other USGA events, and there was a chance for me to go work with Joe Buck, who is one of the on the Mount Rushmore of sports broadcasters. So it was Paul Azinger and Greg Norman at that time, and Joe Buck and Brad Fack. I mean, it was a who's who of golf, and I was the only female broadcaster. And I got to move to LA. And I also got to do the NFL, and the contract was much more money, and it made sense. So as hard as it was to leave people at Golf Channel, it made sense for my life.
Did you like doing football more than golf?
It's so different because it's only 2.5 hours, and sometimes you're out there in the freezing cold. And with golf, at least I was inside a studio and it was warm and I could wear like cute outfits.
There's no
football, you're on for like 3 minutes the entire broadcast, just giving the reports, and you have to chase the coaches around. I actually did not like it at all. I didn't like the sideline reporting at all. I would much rather be in a studio with the personality and the no snow.
I'd like that too.
Is it a cool job? Yeah, of course it's the NFL and you get to be a part of it. It's a really cool job, but the sideline reporting, I miss hosting in studio.
I know, because the way that how you even got into boxing, because I think you were hosting, you're interviewing Oscar, and at first when I saw you, I'm like, who's this girl? And always we think, do they know anything about broadcasting and boxing? And the first thing when I Google, I'm like, oh my God, okay, she knows her shit.
Yeah.
She knows her stuff. So what got you into boxing then?
More on that
On the sports.
Well, how we first met, Oscar, which the show is actually getting underway now. It was a pilot for Bally's Sports Network. It was a gambling show incorporating boxing with like the digital meters in the gloves to punch to see like how hard the punches were. It's really cool, and it's actually like coming to fruition. It's been 2 years 'cause Oscar and I have been together for 2 years. It's still happening. But anyhow, he wanted someone to do the interviews for that was kind of edgy and knew their shit and was a good broadcaster, but entertaining too, not just like a stiff. So he was like, I want Holly to do it. And so the joke is that he spent $300,000 to put that together just to meet me. That's the joke. But it is coming to fruition now. But I interviewed him there and spent a little time with him, and that was it. Like I could just feel his soul, truly. I mean, Oscar's very powerful that way.
No, I've always said you guys make the most amazing couple. I've known Oscar for years. I worked for him, and I didn't know you, but based off what I saw, I was like, these two really work. I don't know why, but he was so happy, and I interviewed him. I remember during COVID, he's like, Cyn, I want you and the team. I'm going to announce it. I'm going to come out and fight again. I'm like, you're unretiring.
That's right.
And I just, he was trying to find his happiness, and that's why I always say, I'm so glad you found your bliss finally.
And it came at a time in his life and my life where we both needed each other. I'm 35 years old, and that's coming off of everything I've had in my life, and you end up in your personal life still being alone. And I know that he was searching for that whatever it is inside of him. That's why he wanted to fight. It's not just about,
It wasn't about money.
No, of course not. No, of course not. It was just fulfilling a void in his self. And now he's like, I'm good. I'm all right with myself. And that's what makes me happy every day, is that he's good with him. And this documentary that's coming out.
Congratulations. At Tribeca Film Festival, they're going to feature that?
Film Fest, yeah. I was one of like 5 people that were able to see it already. And I cried through half of it. So it's really well done. And I think it was 4 years of interviews he did. Like, I remember we would be at like Pebble Beach, and they'd be like, listen, this is an emotional place for you. We're going to come do an interview. And they'll it was an interview every other week, and they got some really honest, painful stuff that he needed to get off his chest. So I think everybody's going to be really, it's very powerful.
It was probably therapeutic.
Extremely therapeutic, and he's like, I'm 50 and I'm finally able to be who I am, because he lived, as so many of these athletes and celebrities, for everyone else, and the way they wanted him to live and to become the golden boy and to be perfect all the time. And he's just like, man, it's just too much of a burden.
We see it all the time with other fighters. We're seeing it right now, that mental health is a very, very big issue, and you fight for your family, we get it, but then you lose yourself.
That's exactly. He's like, I don't even know who I was exactly. I knew who everybody wanted me to be, but like, who am I? So finally he's Oscar. And you know, a lot of people, especially on social media, like when he'll be in a hot tub with his shirt off, enjoying his life or whatever, they'll be like, I miss the old Oscar. You've changed. You're not humble. And we're like, what in the fuck are you talking about?
He was always there. He just needed to come out.
About it, being okay with yourself has nothing to do with being humble.
Yeah.
He's the most humble human in the world. It's just you're allowed to have some confidence in yourself and know how you want to live your life. So
I commend you guys. I mean, you guys are a great couple, the golden girl and the golden boy. But so enough of Oscar, because I mean, he's doing rounds of interviews, and like you said, we have 3 hours. We could talk for 3 hours because Oscar loves to talk. So golf, I don't know anything about golf, but I do remember there was that big issue, the live golf, and I saw you tweet about it. Certain golfers are part of this, but they can't play in the PGA.
Yeah.
How bad is that for players?
I just think it's bad for golf as a whole to keep the best in the world from competing on a certain tour. Like, they've been doing it forever with the European Tour, the PGA Tour, even over in Asia they do it at their own tour, and it's like there's no problem there, but somebody else comes in, they pay the players huge money. I mean, if somebody gave you a $200 million upfront contract, you and your family are going to take it, and you only have to work 12 weeks a year as opposed to 40 weeks a year. You're going to take it, you know? It's just, and the people say it's the moral part of that, and it's the Saudi money, and it's like, leave that out of it, you know? Like, Saudi money has touched almost everything, if you think about it. Coming through the banking system, like, come on. They're like, it's a moral issue. It's not a moral issue. We just saw 2 weeks ago with the Masters, 3 of the live players finished in the top 6. Mm-hmm. Like, don't tell me that you don't miss them. I mean, 52-year-old Phil Mickelson, who's a 2-time champion at the Masters, was the runner-up, and they barely showed him on the TV coverage.
Yeah.
You know? Come on, let's just find a way to work together, because right now it's half on one tour and half on another, and it doesn't work. It's not working.
I feel sad because when it first broke out, I mean, my boyfriend's brother, he plays golf, so he was trying to explain. I'm like, it's money play. That's all it is.
Absolutely. And I mean, that league, I'm sorry to say, people keep saying it's going to crumble. They have money as far as the desert can go. And they put a lot of energy into this. This is not going anywhere. So they need to find a way to work together, because a lot of these guys' contracts are for 5 years. So what, we're not going to see them till they're out of their prime?
Do you miss it? Do you miss golf?
I don't miss playing. Oscar plays 3 times a week, so I'm more his coach now.
I know that he sits there and tries to be better than you, but I mean, there's no way, and it's funny.
If I practice, I will beat him, but I don't play that much anymore. Like, he's going to play a celebrity event in Tahoe in July, and I'm going to caddy for him.
You're going to have probably the cutest outfits for both of you.
We're making them now, on NBC. So I'm more just like his coach now, and we have fun with it. It's a way for him to disconnect from everything. I just wish that it didn't take 6 hours every time we go. I wish it was like, I'm like, can't we play tennis? Like, can't we play anything else? It's just an hour, but he loves his golf. So.
Hey everyone, I'm Cynthia Conte for the Best Women's Boxing Show period. This is part 2 with Holly Sonders. The most critical question I forgot to ask. You are now the commissioner of Xposed Sports. You're your own commissioner of a sports league you created.
Yes. So I had this idea that me and all my girlfriends from Instagram and social media who have enormous followings, we should put something together. And why not a sports league? I mean, that's what I know. I did that, on TV for 10 years. Sports are my life. And I was like, let's get everybody together, get everybody looking hot, get some of the best content with the greatest photographers, and let's put it out there. And they have all been so down for it so far, so I'm lucky.
When you were floating this idea to Oscar, what did he initially think?
Oscar has such an open mind.
Yeah.
With a business mind. So when I explained it to him, he was like, hell yeah, because it's built in marketing. My first 10 girls, I have the roster set up for the first shoot on May 18th, and between them they have 8 million followers. So I send them some of the content from the shoot, they post it, they tag us, and we go live June 1st, and we'll get our PR machine behind it too and get the word out there, and I think it could be really fun.
Why did you guys decide a topless as opposed to just a teeny weeny bikini?
Well, that was my idea, but yeah, he was just saying it's a good idea to get the girls together. But I came up with the idea. Yeah, they'll have like little bikinis on, but these girls make a living, which sometimes is hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on camera, doing topless or whatever it may be, whatever they feel comfortable doing. And so that's a business model that's not going away. The OnlyFans kind of came out really hard during COVID, and so it really hasn't slowed down since. It's a business model that's not going away. So why not get everybody together? And this is one place where you don't have to subscribe to one woman. You get 10 girls, the hottest girls, the girls like the dream girls from Instagram that you see. You get 10 of them at a time every month.
How much does it cost, and where can they see it once it launches?
We're coming up with the pricing so far to make it, as available as possible to everyone, but also to make we got to make our money back that we're putting out there with all these good photographers and the venue and everything. So we'll make up, making it up right now something that's fair, whether it's a monthly package, a yearly package, pay-per-view. So it'll just keep evolving.
What kind of sports are we looking at?
So the first I say sports, it's more like sports and activities. So it's like the first one will have, fun stuff like ping pong, twister. Right. The house that we have has a bowling alley in it. It's got a tennis court, basketball court, and so I actually have some of my photographers that used to shoot for Fox, my golf stuff, they shoot ESPN football. They're coming in to shoot at like a real sports event. So I have glamour photographers, and I actually have real sports photographers coming in.
That will be interesting to put on the resume.
Exactly. Yeah, my middle-aged guys from the Midwest that are coming in, used to shooting college football, they come out to shoot these girls, and they get a weekend in Vegas. So
it's their dream job. Holly, you made their dream job. I can't even imagine ping pong and the girls' boobs just flying and.
Oh yeah, basketball, jump rope. We want to do like on location stuff later, like skiing and like snowboarding and all like the cold weather. We want to go to Miami, do the warm weather, like the beach volleyball, the surfing. Like this is we want to do this up, yeah.
I mean, this is a real genius idea. It's one of those ideas everyone wants. You're the only one that's been able to go through with it.
It'd be hard for a man to do it because it would be seen as misogynistic.
Absolutely.
But the fact that I'm looking out for the girls, I'm trying to help them make money, and we're all doing it together in a very safe environment. And my lead creative on this is also a woman, Ashley.
Oh yeah. This is a female-owned company, and all the people are female. I'm putting my thing in as a host, but I will wear clothes.
We're going to need play-by-play as this goes on. We're working on the graphics because we want to be able to do like a tale of the tape with the girls moving, like video game characters. And we're going to have all the post-interviews, the pre-interviews. Like I know how to do this, so it's going to be good.
You put your broadcasting skills, the love of sports, and you being an actual golfer. And you know what? You figured it out. You figured out where your next journey in life is going to be.
Yeah, who knew that would be, women playing topless sports, but it's cool. And these girls are such dynamic women. Like they see them on OnlyFans and they think one certain thing, but most of these women were nurses their entire life, but found out they could make 20 times as much doing what they're doing, or they're, investment bankers. These are some smart ass girls, like very, very intelligent women who've had, real jobs, as people like to say, but they're working really hard and making a lot of money.
Wow. I guess my journey's here. I mean,
come over with us. You live in Vegas. We'll be down the road filming.
That is true. That is true. I'll just host, and I'll make sure you guys are nice and glistened and make sure everything's intact.
We're looking for like someone to oil the girls up. I don't know. You know how many job applications I've received for a referee? I have people saying, I will referee this for free. Please. I have probably.
Are there going to be men involved, like as the referees, or is it going to be all strictly women?
I'm just trying to keep it as like comfortable for the women as possible, but like some of the photographers have already shot with all these girls, and I make sure it's somebody they're comfortable with, and so there will be like male photographers and stuff like that, and just the lead creative, her name is Ashley, and she's one of the best glamour photographers I've ever seen. So she's getting the outfits for the girls. She knows what's going to look good, the cute tennis skirts and all the cute outfits, and it's exciting. But yeah, of course, men will be involved, but it's female owned. So.
Yeah. This is exciting. I mean, we're here for all sports. All the shenanigans, the debauchery, it's sport. We love it. We'll watch
They're going
it.
to be mic'd up. They're going to be talking shit to each other, and it's just going to be a fun time. So I mean, I just think, like any kind of like topless whatever, it's never bothered me. Like people in France are.
It's normal.
In Europe, it's just normal. So America has this kind of taboo thing, but yeah, it's not going to be raunchy at all. It's going to be more fun and funny, and I think it's going to be entertaining. So.
And if you don't like it, then don't buy it. But I know
That's
you're going to
it.
buy it. You guys are going to find a way to buy it and watch it.
Paywall, right? It's not out there for public consumption unless you want to see it. But I'll tell you exactly where to find it. So
Oh my God, I can't wait. It's the, what is it called? The
Xposed Sports. Yep.
Xposed Sports, and here we go. Here is the commissioner, Miss Holly Sonders. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to drop this. I can't wait for all to drop. I can't wait to work it. This is going to be such
hired.
fun.
You're hired.
This, you guys hear? My resume was accepted. I am hired. Okay, thank you again, Holly. I appreciate it. For the best women's boxing show, period. See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.